Good morning. I'm Steve Rosansky, President and CEO of the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to our monthly Government Affairs Committee meeting. We've got a great guest this morning who is to my left or right, depending on, I guess, what your screen looks like. But we're going to do things a little differently today. Unfortunately, Alberto Sandoval, our Government Affairs, our Government Affairs MC and chair of our Civic Affairs Committee, the Chamber is on a flight to Washington, D.C. today to represent the interests of UCI. So I'm going to have to handle it all on my very own. Hopefully my bald little head has a brain big enough to think up some good questions to ask Laura, because we're going to do things a little differently. Normally we have a presentation and then Q&A at the end. But today, since this is the waning days of Laura's career here at the city of Newport Beach, and she's going to have a big retirement party for her tonight, we thought we'd do a little exit interview with Laura and see, pick her brain a little bit about her years here, and maybe we can, give some good nuggets of information as to, what might happen here in the future, or what, things that are undone that, we can talk about with the next Park and Rec director, whoever that is. So I will remind you that if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A box, please. So we'll after I'm done answering all my questions, which I have a few, we're happy to answer any that you may have of Laura. And I think that's about it. So I'll launch in. I'll start first with Laura's biography, because that'll kind of set the tone here. So Laura was named the Recreation and Senior Services Director in July of 2008. So that's even before I got involved with the city. For the city of Newport Beach. She directs a staff of 43 full-time and approximately 100 part-time employees, and oversees an annual operating budget of $13 million with revenues over $6 million. The department consists of 3 divisions: administration, recreation services, and senior services. Her team oversees the use and programming of the city's 76 parks and community centers, beaches, and marine habitats, while coordinating recreational, social, and educational opportunities that serve a population ranging from infants to those like me in their advanced years. So Laura, I'll just read the whole thing. The backbone of the department's success are its team members working collaboratively with independent contractors and volunteers in the field, serving to fulfill their mission to enhance the quality of life for our residents and visitors. That's actually similar to our mission here at the Chamber of Commerce. Laura has more than 31 years of experience in recreation and community services. She has directed recreation and social programming for all age groups, managed numerous capital improvement projects ranging from park improvements to facility development, and has worked extensively with nonprofit community organizations, commissions, and city councils. Throughout her career, she's worked for multiple municipal agencies, including the cities of Agoura Hills, Signal Hill, Long Beach, and Cypress. Laura was previously the Community Services Director for the City of Cypress and holds a bachelor's degree in leisure studies. Wow, that's interesting. I'd like to do leisure studies. I guess when you retire, you'll be an expert in it, right?
Yes.
Leisure studies and recreation and leisure studies and recreation. Okay, there's 2 things there. And a master's of arts degree in organizational management. She's a member of a bunch of different groups, and she's been director and board members of a lot of them, so I'm not going to read through all those acronyms. And she's received the District X Leadership Merit Coveted Leadership Award and Lifetime Achievement Award, and she's only halfway through her life, so she got another whole lifetime, half a lifetime to earn some more rewards. So we'll put that to the side. So Laura, as I said, I inherited you, or you inherited me, I don't know, one way or another. When I got on city council back in 2003, so you already have 5 years under your belt here. But tell me how you came to the city originally.
Well, I had originally started my career, first full-time job over at the Oasis Senior Center. So I was the program coordinator there for about 6 years, and fell in love with the city, fell in love with that center. Was certainly looking to just further my career. So there weren't a whole lot of opportunities going on right at that time with the city. So I moved on to the other cities, kind of moved up throughout the organization, and wound up over in Cypress and was serving as their director, and was really happy there. I had a great team. We had some good challenges that we were facing, but The opportunity in Newport Beach came up, and life is what happens when you're making other plans, right? So, I was successful in that process. Homer was the city manager at the time, and I was, just super excited to come back here. I knew that we were going to have a lot of projects. There was a lot of work that needed to be done within the department as well, just to kind of prepare ourselves for the future. So I jumped at that opportunity and have been here for 14 years since.
So so obviously you've been at a half a dozen cities or so. What's working here? Why is, and maybe it's not any different here than say some of these other cities?
Yeah, I certainly loved all of my other jobs and the people I worked with in the other cities, but we just do things differently here in Newport Beach, and it's at a higher level. The community is very involved, very high expectations of staff and the facilities that we have and the programs that we have. There's just this general consensus from the council and the commissions and the community that a well put together recreation program and park system is important to the quality of life. And so that makes our job easier. We're not vying for resources, really. We've been given this landscape and a great budget to be able to do what we do best, and that's be creative, work with the city and with the residents of the city, and we're able to respond to their needs. And that's just a really cool feeling to be a part of that. And we've just been so successful given the makeup of the city and the ability to just really do amazing stuff with our facilities and programs.
Well, I'll tell you, as a resident, first off, and then as a city council person, and then now chamber president, I've always marveled at, our city was founded in 1906, so we're 116 years old, and we're still building brand new parks.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that incredible? I mean, we had a park dedication just a couple weeks ago over at Uptown Newport of a 1-acre community park that's open to the public. And I know on my tenure on city council, we had a number of parks that were opened. I think Coastal Peak Park. I'm trying to remember them all.
Civic Center Park. I mean,
Civic Center Park, yeah. Two park, really, the dog park and the sculpture park, garden park.
We did Corona Del Mar Pocket Park. We completely rebuilt Oasis. I mean, the city was pretty static at the time that I got here in 2008. And you would have thought, given the age of our city, that we were built out, and we were not. I mean, we really hit it hard and were able to find spaces to build those parks, but also look at some of our facilities that have been around for a really long time and completely rebuild them, or essentially, renovate them in entirety.
Yeah, exactly. Walt Howell Park was just rededicated, and then Marina Park, Sunset Ridge Park, obviously two major parks for the city. I mean, I know that I worked on it for 9 years when I was on city council for Sunset Ridge Park, and people working on it 20 years before me. Yes. And it didn't get done until 2 years after I left. But I do appreciate your help, certainly, in making that dream come true. And so it must be gratifying to you as an observer. I've always thought that people, we attract the highest quality people, and obviously you're included, because we are doing things here. You have resources. I like to say we tear out things that other cities wish they had. And so how do you feel about that? I mean, was that a big drawing card for you when you came to the city, that the ability to actually, work at the top of your profession?
Absolutely. The general plan has got a recreation element in it for those that aren't familiar with it. But when I started here, we looked at that general plan and the element and the goals that were set for us. And there was a ton of projects that were listed. I want to say there was like 10 different items listed in the recreation element. And so, to be a part of something, like, people don't get to do that kind of thing in their entire career. And we've been able to do so much in just the last decade or so in improving our park system. And so, yeah, I'm a tremendous amount of pride in that. People have asked me, what's my favorite project, or what have I enjoyed most here? And that it's such a hard, question for me to answer, because we've just done so much. And anytime we do things, they're world class. We do it right. We work with the community and make sure it's meeting their needs, that we vet it out. And, when we as you know, Steve, projects are not easy. They're complicated. And when you're working on park projects, there's a lot of passion involved in that. And so a lot of controversy tends to follow. So, Marina Park and Sunset Ridge Park are a testament to this community's will and resilience to complicated things, especially when you're in the coastal zone. Those parks did not come easy.
No, took a few trips to Sacramento, went to, I think, Santa Cruz, you and I both, and the fire chief and a bunch of others to get Sunset Ridge Park improved anyway. And I wasn't on council for the battle over Marina Park, but I know there was just as many hurdles to overcome there. So yeah, you would think building parks would be an easy thing. I mean, has that been your experience in your career, or just?
You would think it would be all fun and games, but it is not. I mean, we always know that there's a battle ahead of us, but we know it's the right thing to do and the right thing for the community. And even if there's pushback for maybe the residents that live around it and they don't know what's coming, we know, because we've seen these improvements just change the culture. They provide a variety of ways for the community to come together. It improves home values. I mean, the list of benefits is endless when you think about all of these projects that we've been successful in. And one of the things that's most surprising to people when they ask how many parks we have 65 parks in a very small city. And just about everybody can walk to one of these spaces, which is just a really cool thing to point to, but also, that's been decades and decades of planning, really good planning, and the city team, all the departments are involved in it, and everybody loves working on parks too. So that's just it's been a great feeling and such a sense of accomplishment for all of us.
So you said there were 65 parks? Have you visited every one?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, I'm gonna say probably, well, I don't have a single favorite, but I'll say Sunset Ridge Park, Marina Park, and Grant Held Park. And I think because I know so much about what went into those coming to fruition, and just worked with so many, of my colleagues here, and, to see those things planned and then unfold and how the community is enjoying them, there's just no better feeling.
It just popped in my head. Do you remember Louise Greeley?
Yes.
Sunset Ridge Park?
Yeah.
Tiny woman, but she had a big voice, that's for sure.
Yeah, we got her butterfly garden up there, which is doing really well. And I'm sure she's just so happy looking down on that park and seeing how it's being used. And, when we complete Sunset View Park and make that connection with the bridge.
Oh, another new park.
Yeah, that, again, that's just going to up the level of enjoyment for the community in that area.
Do you think we'll ever get a parking lot next to Sunset Ridge Park?
No.
Absolutely not, huh?
I know.
That was a pipe dream, huh? Back in the day.
It was a really good idea, but no, I don't think we'll ever get it.
Well, we're going to have probably the biggest park we have in Newport Beach sooner or later. I mean, looks like the Banning Ranch will be purchased. I mean, they have, tens of millions of dollars. I think June or July is the deadline. Yeah. What do you think about that? Basically a 400-acre park.
Oh,
and not all of it technically is in the city limits, but the city surrounds it. So effectively it's our park.
I think it'll be fabulous. I was so sad when it stalled because, the thought of opening up that space, which has spectacular views, our community loves its open spaces. And, I think it'll be a regional draw and just such a feather in the cap of those that will have succeeded at getting that open. So there's just so much potential there. And it's not doing anybody any good right now. And that's unfortunate.
I agree. So do you have a favorite recreational activity?
Personally, or in terms of
well, let's start with personally, and then let's start with the city and then we'll go to personally. How about
that? Well, I love our special events. The one that I can think of that really comes to mind is 4th of July is for Families event on the peninsula. And, it was a war zone down there. That's what we called it, was the war zone. And
I remember, yeah.
the council said, hey, let's put a parade down there. And we thought, oh my God, that's the worst idea ever. How will that ever work?
I was
And
on that committee.
yes, you were on that
Mike,
committee.
Ken and I, but I'm going to give most of the credit to Mike because it was
Yes.
really, he drove that. Yeah. The idea of the parade. Yeah.
And we'll never forget that first year. We were all standing on the curb, on Balboa Boulevard, and it was a quarter till. Nobody was there, just us. It was like the council and the staff that programmed it. And 5 minutes before, they came out of the woodwork.
I know. Can you imagine if you gave a parade, nobody showed up, right?
And it is, it's just changed the whole feel down there. It was a remarkable transformation. And the other thing about the event is the community was so thankful. And every year they come up to our staff and are just so grateful for us being there. And when something like that comes together and has such an impact, that will always be an incredible memory for us. So
yeah, it has changed the whole character of 4th of July on the peninsula. I mean, those people were on lockdown. And, we started with the parade and eventually the barricades came down. And I won't say there's not some craziness that goes on down there even to this day, but it's clearly not a war zone. Yeah. And a lot of it's owed to your leadership and the people under you who helped make that a reality. I think it's been at least 10 years now that we've been doing that parade.
10 years.
And it's grown every year. I mean, you have new activities and more people come, and it's just become such a great event. So thank you for that. And on behalf of my residents in West Newport Beach, we thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So, okay, so let's flip over. So what's your favorite recreational activity?
Well, my family has boated all of my life. So I love boating, water skiing, wakeboarding, floating. That's one of my favorite things to do is just float out in Lake Havasu and just have a lot of friends and family out there and love to get out on the water. And there's just something very healing about that.
So I got another question, and I really jotted these down this morning as I was drinking my coffee, but tell me 2 or 3 things that Park and Rec does that most people don't know, if there are such things.
Yeah, no, we still get, I had no idea this facility was here. So just in general, there are, everybody's lives are very different, and a lot going on in them. So the fact that people don't know that some of our facilities exist, and then when they discover them, it's just like this light bulb goes off. But I think probably I would point to the Oasis Senior Center. You don't really know about Oasis until you get to that age where you're looking for something different. You're retired and you want to do things that you haven't been able to do because you've been too busy. But I'd want to say the transportation program that we have that keep people living independently in their homes. We get them to the senior center, we get them to their medical appointments, the things that allow them to, continue to live in their homes, which is a goal for all of us, right? So when they need that program, they're amazed at the compassion that our staff has in facilitating that program. So I'd say maybe the social services that we provide that people just don't know are there until they actually need them. And we have incredible staff that are so well trained and educated and have, this tremendous knowledge about, some of life's most difficult challenges. So I would point to that part of it as well. So
I would think also the breadth of your programs that you offer. That booklet, I mean, it amazes me, you print this like 100-page booklet. I mean, it looks like a college university course guide of different programs that are offered now. And your programming that you oversee is not just city staff members doing it, it's a whole hundreds of contractors that contract with the city to provide those. So, how's your experience been with them? And
it's a whole nother set of staff aside from the 150 employees we have that help run our department. We've got about another 150 contract instructors that have subcontractors that work for them. So about 500 people are out in the field in our facilities, putting on all of these specialty programs that run the gamut from toddlers to those over 100 years old. So We could not do what we do without them. We recognize their skill set, and that the navigator changes every quarter. There is nothing the same. I mean, we've got some really great regular programs, but it changes quarterly. And Duffy said it well at the council meeting last week. Like he just had no idea what we do as a department until he got really involved on the council, and is just blown away by the diversity of our offerings, and had no idea about how complex that process is to make sure that we're, that we've got a, great program to offer. And there's a little something for everybody, which we tend to tout and are certainly really proud of.
Yeah, no doubt. So what do you think is the most underutilized park in town? Like if you had your druthers, what would have been something that, gee, I wish I could get more people to show up to this place, or is there such a thing? Are they all just, chock full of people and it's not even an issue?
They all get really good use. We've had a lot of conversation, and you've been involved in that too over the years, about the West Newport Community Center. And
that was my next question.
we're not utilizing that like I would have liked us to, but really to do that, we would have need to have leveled that facility and completely rebuilt it. It was aging and it needed a lot of TLC. So
are you talking about the one that had the basketball court and the old that we leased to the high school? Yeah,
correct. Yeah. We still utilize the basketball gym there for our adult sports, but I would have loved for that to have been different. And it wasn't its time. We had a lot of other things going on, a lot of other priorities, but I think with that side of town, changing, that it will see its day at some point in time, because there's a lot of housing going in over there, young families moving in. That I think that is just an untapped area for us right now. And depending on what happens with Banning Ranch, there'll be some great connectivity over there, and maybe some other opportunities for us to have a West Newport Community Center.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that was one of my projects that I tried to work on. I even got the city to buy a piece of property for it, that building they sold to Kobe Bryant eventually after I left council. I thought, oh, we finally solved it. We've got a piece of land, and I guess the determination was it wasn't the right shape or something. I don't know. But so I agree with you. I know in my neighborhood, when my son grew up in the 80s, there we had literally 6 kids in Newport Shores. And, so he had no friends. There was really no one to hang out with. And then on this past Sunday, I attended with my nephew or grandnephew, great nephew, whatever you want to call it, the Easter party over at our community center. And there's 100 kids there. Yeah. And I'm guaranteed that wasn't all the kids in the Shores. I mean, it just exploded with young families there. And so there's certainly a need. And, I hope that someday we'll be able to see, because as you mentioned, Oasis too. I mean, it's on the other side of town. And really, if you want to take advantage of those programs, it's 15, 20 minutes away, depending on what traffic is like. And a lot of people, I think on the west side, don't even realize that facility may even exist, or at least is accessible to them. And so, I hope both of our dreams that for West Newport, and it doesn't have to be separate facilities, but like a combined facility someday would happen there. Yeah.
I think it will.
So, okay, great. Let's see what else we got here. I lost my questions. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. So we went through a super trying time here, obviously, in the last 2 or 3 years with the COVID situation. And, almost by definition, recreation involves, to a large degree, getting contact with other people, whether it's sports or activities and parks and things like that. I mean, of course, you can just go there and be by yourself, and many people do, but talk a little bit about how you dealt with those challenges in your position as Park and Rec Director, how you pivoted the department, and are there any lessons to be learned for the future?
Yeah, certainly, the most challenging time of my career, no doubt. I'm trying to navigate all the mandates from the state. The day we had to close down playgrounds was really the darkest day of my career. And for all of us, it was just tough. Everything that we do is about bringing the community together and all of these amazing spaces that we have. So, you know, we wanted to be, first of all, responsive, prepared, make sure that if there was any opportunity for us to program for the community, that we would find a way. And so we provide a lot of online resources. We kept our childcare program going. You know, last summer when I think we had like 2 weeks notice where we knew we were going to be able to open up our facilities and do some programming. And thank goodness to my staff that they just knew that if we got the green light, we were going to be ready. And we opened up registration for summer camps, and we had an all-time high in terms of registration numbers. And so I think most of it was just trying to listen, be prepared, and make sure that we were ready to hit the ground running when, you know, the tide kind of turned for that. So there was no rule book for that, and we just wanted to make sure that we were ready, and we were. And I'm so proud of my team in terms of how they navigated that process. It was scary, you know, for any individual to think about their own safety, let alone put that aside and make sure that we were doing as much as we possibly could for kids in the community, making sure that if sports was an opportunity, that we could offer our fields for them, whatever we could do to work through some of the mandates. We did, and we found every way to do that. So I think we did a really good job of that.
Any lessons to be learned for the future, or we just have to see what the future holds for us?
Well, we, you know, one of the things that we've talked about as a team here is if we could navigate that successfully, there isn't anything that we can't do. And so I think that's what we've taken from that is we as a city are stronger. We as a city family, the team, there's nothing we can't accomplish. So I think collectively, there's a lot more confidence there in all of us because we came through that process so well.
So your replacement hasn't been identified yet. I assume that there's some kind of a process going on. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's going to happen?
Yeah, there'll be an open recruitment. It's coming soon. I would expect for it to probably open at some point this week. And so that, you know, that's what we traditionally do as a city for department heads.
Mm-hmm.
We open it up and make sure that we attract the best and the brightest. As you know, I've worked with Sean my entire time here. We've built this department together. It's my hope that he is my successor, and
as mine as well.
Yeah, it's going to be sitting in my seat here. And so I hope maybe you can do an entry interview with Sean if he's the successor. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
But our entire team there, we've done a lot of succession planning. Our talent is so deep throughout our entire department, and I think they're ready to go, and they're going to continue to be successful. We've got some great projects going on. And so I hope it's Sean. I'm a fan of his and have, I've leaned on him a lot over the years, and, you know, we've done it together, and I just know that he is ready for this next step. So, so I hope maybe in the next couple of months, that process will be complete, and then our staff can start to make additional changes and get the team all set and be prepared for the next challenges that are coming down the pipe.
So do you have any words of wisdom for your successor?
I think it's important to manage up as much as you manage down, making sure that you're working closely with the city manager and council and our commission, and making sure you understand what's going on out there, and that we're going to be at the table for any issues that arise, and that we're prepared to be part of that process. So it's a complex city. There's a lot that goes on here, and it requires teamwork among all of the departments. So, just continuing to work hand in hand with them and be there for them and support them, so we can continue to be as successful as we've been.
You just mentioned the commission, the Parks, Beaches and Recreation Commission, which is actually where I got my start. I was appointed there. I wasn't there long, only about 3 months, and then I was appointed to the city council, but do you feel like that's an effective organization for our city? Could somehow that be improved, or are they, do you find them helpful in managing, or have you found them helpful in managing the department and projects as they move forward?
Yeah, we've got such a great commission. They're here for all the right reasons. They're serving on that board because they love this city and they want to make a difference. So we've got a really close relationship with them. We've had some great successes with projects that they've been involved in. So yes, I do think they're helpful when we're working through different issues. To be working hand in hand with the community is really what makes that process successful. So and they've all got different backgrounds and strengths. And so I think it's been a commission that's been around for a very long time. And important to, how we do things in the Recreation and Senior Services Department, but also with Public Works as well. In managing our urban forest here, we have a lot of conversation about trees, which are so important to this community. So to have them as a sounding board, I think is really important. And I know all of the staff that are liaisons to that commission have a great amount of respect for those folks and the work that they do and their commitment to volunteering and putting in the time. Sometimes it's not a very thankful job.
So you just mentioned another thing that just triggered something in my brain. So trees, I always thought was one of the thorniest sort of park related issues you could face. So do you have a good tree story, let's say?
Oh,
share with us. You don't have to name names, just
well, I'll tell you
maybe a
that
resident that got crazy about a tree, or
things got a little crazy on Balboa Island with those eucalyptus
eucalyptus trees.
So
yeah,
that was a thorny one. So it's probably the freshest one in my mind. But our arborists, our public works team, they've been fantastic in working with the community and trying to get through that. We know how important trees are to the community, and in particular, those trees were something that really drew the community and staff together to try to come to some resolution. So I've learned a lot about trees. Didn't realize I would be doing as much of that, but I just have a ton of respect for our staff that manages that whole process. They are so passionate about what they do. I think we're up to 35,000 trees in our urban forest, and so manage something like that is impressive. And you can ask them what kind of tree or on any street, and they can tell you, which is amazing. It's always amazed me.
Always amazed me as well. So, as you recall, when Dave Kiff left city government here in Newport Beach, he's actually still in city government, as it turned out. He tricked us. But we did a big Dave 2.0 Jam Fest.
Yeah.
So what's Laura 2.0 look like? I mean, where are you headed? What's your plans and as you leave the city?
Yeah, well, I have first and foremost, it's just to have the freedom of time to spend more time with family and friends. I to be honest, I'm most excited about that. We are planning on doing a lot of traveling around the United States, just going to different places that we haven't been able to spend a whole lot of time or have never seen. Mm-hmm. We really want to go and see as many of the national parks as we can as well. So I've been getting into pickleball, so playing pickleball, playing golf. I love being outside and participating in outdoor sports. So I have no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna be able to fill a day.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So are we going to see you pop up as like the interim park and rec director at like Costa Mesa or somewhere like Dave did?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
I would not. Huh? I would not leave this job. I love this job, and so I've always kind of thought in my mind when I'm done that I'm done. This is going to be the last place I'm going to be working. So no, I have no interest in doing that, and I couldn't leave here. We have such a great team here. I can't imagine going anywhere else because of that.
I'll tell you, one of my biggest grudges with our state pension system is that people like you can retire at such a young age that we you've got another good 10 years in you we could have gotten out of you, but I don't know. I guess
I'll be on speed dial for Sean if he needs me. Call me.
I hope so. He may, he's been around a long time, but I'm sure, he'll have a few questions. Before you go, we did have one question here in the Q&A, and if anybody else has a question, please throw it in there quick, because we're going to wrap up with Laura and let her get back to clearing out her desk. So Paul here was a Banning Ranch question, actually. Banning Ranch purchase provides an opportunity for the city to annex 401 acre parcel. Actually, we own about, I think, 20% of the Banning Ranch right now. It's in the city, but it's a vast majority still unincorporated. Currently, there's an effort by the city of Costa Mesa and the county of Orange to relocate homeless population from this area, which has been a problem there over the years. Do you believe that Newport Beach can better manage this potential park area than a regional partner such as the county? So that's a legitimate park question. You think we would do a better job managing that area?
Banning Ranch Park?
Banning Ranch Park, yeah.
Absolutely. I think we do everything better than everybody else. So yeah, I mean, we always like to be in control of our destiny, and when we are, great things happen. So I think the expectation of us to manage things and manage it well, we all rise to the occasion here, and I think we do it better than anybody else. So yes.
I tend to agree. I mean, I think we're running like a $30 million budget surplus this year. So I think we probably have a few extra resources that if that park did come on, we could probably handle it easily. And it would certainly be not only a great asset for our residents, I think, but for the county, as a whole,
Sure.
as a regional park, more so than even just a regular public or municipal park. So. All right, Laura. Well, like I said, I know you got I see a lot of stuff still in your office there that you kind of have to pack up. When's your last day?
I got a bag right there.
You got a bag? Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's your last day. Oh,
yes.
You got a big party for tonight at Oasis Senior Center, right?
I know. I'm so excited about it. I know there's been a lot of planning going into that, so it's going to be.
Well, you got your people are party planners for sure. So
I know not very many people have an entire recreation department to plan their retirement.
Like 150 people, right?
Oh my gosh, something like that. It's gonna be lots of fun though.
It's gonna be a blowout. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you there tonight. And again, thank you for your service to the city. I know you're a paid employee, but I know it goes well beyond that. That's only the starting point for all the department heads. I think even most of our employees. I mean, it's pride in our city that monetary compensation doesn't cover. You know what I'm saying? That's just the starting point. But we've always attracted the best of the best. Certainly, you've lived up to that expectation. And whatever you do in your endeavors, I hope you'll circle back here now and again. And I've enjoyed. We didn't even talk about your service on the board of the Marine 1-1 Foundation, which you and I both serve on, and I'm sure we'll miss you there as well as as you're traveling the country going to national parks. But if you ever hit Newport Beach or circle this way, please look us up and say hello. And you're always welcome here in town. So certainly any chamber event.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Much respect to you. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you over the years, and I just appreciate everything you do, everything you're doing with the chamber, and all the support of you when you were on the city council. You're doing great things here, sir. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. So as we do here now, we have I think a few of our legislative reps on the line. I know are on the webinar here, so I'm going to promote somebody here. I think Sergio is coming in, so I'm trying to see through here who might. Of course, I'm not ready because they didn't sign up, and so I don't know who's here or not. But let me just run through here. Well, I don't see anybody. Oh, here's Sergio. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to promote Sergio here and promote to panelist, and we'll get him up here, and he can tell us what's going on at Lisa Bartlett's office. So come on in, Sergio.
All right,
there he is.
I am. Good to see you.
Yeah, well, I saw you last night, so I see you made it into the office. Okay.
Yeah, you look all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed too. That's great.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of stuff going on here at the Chamber of Commerce. You gotta take your coffee injection in the morning so you can be ready.
It was a great event, and you guys do a great job. And I think I can honestly say, and if you repeat this to any other the chamber CEOs, I'll deny it. But I think you are the hardest working chamber CEO.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great event, our scholarship awards dinner that we had, and we appreciate you bringing those. You guys must have a huge budget at your office there for picture frames, because I actually told Amna, our employee here, I said we should just take all those certificates out of those frames and use them for ourselves, because they're so much nicer than the ones that we use. So
well, we do appreciate honoring individuals that deserve honoring and doing it right. That being said, there was one recipient that dropped it and broke it. And
I heard that. I didn't look, but I heard it to the side. I go, I think I heard, oh, don't worry, we'll replace it. So
yeah, but I don't recall who that person was, and
I don't either.
Replace it, but
yeah.
Anyway, that was too bad.
Well, just send over a frame. If she calls the office, we'll forward it on.
You know what? I will do that. I will absolutely do that.
Okay.
That being said, on May 24th, Supervisor Bartlett is going to be hosting a blood drive in Newport Beach with the American Red Cross. And I will send you that information, Steve, if you wouldn't mind, helping us get the word out for that.
Yeah, sure. Where's it going to be?
It's actually going to be in a community not to be named. Starts with a C.
Is it Newport adjacent?
Yes, it's in CDM.
Oh, CDM. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you were going to say Costa Mesa.
No, CDM.
Well, you know what? Even though they deny it, but CDM is part of Newport Beach, and we cover Newport Beach. We cover CDM. We have lots of great members in Corona Del Mar, and we have a friendly rivalry with the Corona Del Mar Chamber as well. So it's all good.
Yeah. So also something that has come up. In addition to the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Bartlett also serves on the Orange County Transportation Authority Board of Directors, and something that's specific to Newport Beach and any of our coastal cities, for that matter is OCTA has made approximately $3 million in competitive funding available through their environmental cleanup program. Qualifying projects reduce the impacts of water pollution related to transportation by removing litter and debris before it reaches the ocean and other waterways. Cities and the county can propose projects through the program, which is funded by OCGO, Orange County's half-cent sales tax for transportation improvements, also known as Measure M. And the city of Newport Beach is interested. Project applications are due by June 16th. All this information is in our weekly newsletter, which will go out tomorrow. And so if you want more details, you can get many more details there.
The city's always interested in controlling litter and waste coming down the waterways. I think at one point we're supposed to put something in the upper bay there to catch the litter as it was coming in. They had a gadget that was going to scoop it up. I haven't really heard much about it since then.
Well, maybe this is an opportunity to get some funding for that.
Yeah, that would be great.
In addition, related to OCTA, OCTA is seeking qualified volunteers to serve on the OCGO Taxpayer Oversight Committee. And applications are due by May 2nd. That's coming up here pretty soon. And, Newport Beach is one of our cities now. So if you have anyone who would be interested in something like that, please send them our way. Again, this will be in our newsletter tomorrow if anyone wants more details. Recently, actually at the last Board of Supervisors meeting, Supervisor Bartlett appointed Bernie Svalstad to the Orange County Historical Commission. I learned recently we had an opening, a vacancy, and I understand he was the founder and is the president of the Newport Beach Historical Society.
Bernie is historical.
Yes. So
he's the incarnation of historical. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is our newest appointee.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Yeah. He actually, if you ever have time, if you're down that way, the library next to the fire station on the peninsula is the repository for historical stuff, some of it that Bernie's group oversees. And it's kind of interesting. We actually chamber donated a bust of, I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman, but Richard, I don't know, he owned Richard's Market, was kind of the go-to place to shop here for many, many years. And we had this bronze bust of him sitting in our storage locker for years. And I finally said, we need to do something with this thing. And so contacted Bernie, and they accepted it, and they have it in a case over there. So if you ever want to see that bust of, I think, oh, maybe it was Dick Richards, I think it was, Richard's Market. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, one of these
little
days,
known historical fact.
I would like to get down that way. You know, needless to say, Newport Beach has a rich history. So, you know, it's good that Bernie, you know, cares about that stuff, and we're happy to have him on board. Let's see. On May 5, Supervisor Bartlett is going to be the keynote speaker for Wake Up Newport.
Yes.
Yep, and we're looking forward to that. And then also on May 19, we'll be at the Speak Up Newport 40th Annual Mayor's Dinner. Looking forward to that. Also on May 5th, the Supervisor Bartlett is having her own State of the 5th District, which you are well aware, and want to thank you for all your efforts in that. In fact, we have a planning meeting in a little over an hour.
I know. I'm seeing more of you in the last 24 hours than my wife.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyways, yeah, we're looking forward to that, and appreciate your help. And that's all I have. I'm going to put my information in the chat. If you want to reach out to me for anything, if you want to get signed up for our newsletter, I'm happy to do that. Or you could just go straight to our website, which will be part of my information I'm plugging in here.
Great. All right, well, I don't see any other ledge reps on the line here this morning. So with that, I'm going to conclude our meeting. As Sergio mentioned, we will be having our Wake Up Newport meeting, what did you say, May 5th? I don't even remember the date, at the library, and come here, Supervisor Bartlett. Maybe it'll be like a little preview of the State of the 5th.
Actually, it's almost identical. It's
almost identical.
So she'll have a dress rehearsal.
Great. So we'll let her have the dry run with us, and then she can perform for everybody else at the official. We like to be first. You know, I pride myself. We're the first group that has a candidate forum. You know, come election time, and you know, we like to be in the front end, not on the back end and stuff. So glad to hear that we'll have Lisa there making her presentation.
You'll be getting the sneak peek.
Yeah, we get the insiders look first. So thank you again. Thank all of you. Have a great rest of your week, and look forward to seeing you at our upcoming events. Take care and see you next time.